Hi guys, and welcome back here to the Dev Realm, and today we're going to be creating this UI for our game. So let's just get started. If you guys remember what we did in the last episodes, that we created the legacy card. And now on this one, I am going to basically use this to create our UI. All right. So I just generated that with ChatGPT. So I use ChatGPT to create that. So it's going to be called UI, and I'm going to put this UI. And as you can see, I am just going to paste it here so you guys have full access to that. And once again, I'm going to be showing what is the process for me to remove this from everything else. So while that open, let's go ahead here. Let's go back to widgets and let's create here another thing. And we are going to basically create a new user interface. And we're going to create here a new blueprint. And we're going to create a user widget. And we're going to call this WBP user vitality counters. Instead of user, sorry, I'm going to call player. Or in this case, player. Yeah, player is good. Player is good. Now, what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to have a very basic layout. So the first thing I'm going to add here is what I'm going to add a vertical box. All right. Because I want things to be, sorry, horizontal box. I want a horizontal box. Now, I'm going to open up here the card just because I want to copy and paste the title. I don't want to be wasting too much time having to copy the font and all that stuff. So I'm going to copy that, go back, I'm going to paste it right here. All right. So now we have the fireball, everything's good. So I am going to basically add the width. It's going to be maybe 800. I'm not sure how this is going to behave yet. So I'm going to make sure it aligns on the center. And here's going to be the player name. So in this case, let's say Mario JGT, my nickname that I use for games. Now, next thing I would like to do here is that I need to go back here and I need to remove those icons and add then what I have to be. So I'm just going to basically copy this, paste it here because I don't like to work with the original. And then here I'm just going to literally just get the icons. I don't care about the numbers, you know, like all this stuff here. It doesn't matter for us. Now I'm going to save it. So I'm going to add here something called health, then mana, and then the you know, whatever is the next one. So for this, I will need a vertical box. And then within the vertical box, I'm gonna add here, let's say, an image, which is going to be the icon of the health. Now, do we have any icon? I mean, let's export it here. So let's go click on this. Let's choose where I would like to export. Make sure you put the DPI. The DPI is fine. You don't need to change that. T dash, let's say health, and I'm going to select the icons. And by the way, you don't need to follow the Inkscape part. This is not part of the tutorial. It's just, as you can see, I will leave it all the icons in there. This is just to show you guys how my process works. All right. Shield or defense, I don't know. Just add the defense there. Okay, so we're gonna copy that. I don't know why I added outside, but I'm just gonna put it here. Oh, I see. Shield. Copy, paste it here. Great. Now, go back to Unreal, right? We're gonna go back to texture. And here we literally just gonna do drag and drop. All right. Oh, I pressed escape, sorry. Nice. Great. Everything's perfect. Now, so let's just scope out first one of the meters and then we do the rest. So I'm going to wrap this with a size box. And I think the size that I would like to use for this guy here is going to be like 62 by 62. Is that too big? A little bit big, no? Maybe we can add 32 by 32. And we can align everything on the center, right? Right. I don't have a problem with this, but I would like to make it maybe 42. by 42. Okay, that looks bad. It doesn't look too bad. It looks bad. Now I'm gonna copy here the text and I'm gonna paste it inside the vertical box. Here we're gonna add how much points of health you have, like 12 or 100, you know, like 12. It's gonna be the default value. Now I'm gonna go back here to where we have this. I'm gonna abstract this into his own component, similar to what we did the card requirements. So I'm gonna create here a new folder called player vitality. Yes, I'm gonna drag and drop here. And now here, I'm gonna right click and create a new blueprint. And here in this time, we're gonna call this WBP player, vitality display, right? Or maybe a better name for this, instead of vitality, we can call attribute. The reason why attribute works better, because a health and a mana and a shield is an attribute. Vitality is emphasize more health stuff, right? All right. Now I'm gonna save everything. Now instead of call player vitality, I'm gonna call this player attribute. All right. Okay. Now that we have done this, I'm gonna open up the attribute display, and I am just gonna go back here, copy that, go back, and press paste, and that's it. That's all you gotta do. Now we're gonna make sure that this the custom size, so he sets whatever the size that he wants to be. And now on here, guys, all we gotta do is that we need to bring the attribute display, right? And from, let's say, left, we add 10, and then we're gonna duplicate and then duplicate, right? Now we're gonna compile and save that. And now let's bring it to our menu to see if it doesn't look too bad, or how does it look, where else we would like to add this. Now we're gonna search for the attribute, and now the attribute, player attribute counters, which is fine. I'm gonna add it right there. So I'm gonna add 0, 0. Later on, what we could do is I could even use ChatGPT to create some kind of avatars for us, but right now we have it right there. Is that the best place to add it? Also, maybe can I maybe I'm not super happy with the location of this, but that will do it for now. So I'm gonna add 20 by, let's say, 20. I don't know. So let's see if I try to resize the screen, what is going to happen, right? How does it look? It doesn't look too bad, actually. It looks nice. You see that it's adding, that's not right, because it's adding the information. It's breaking a little bit, but it's doing based on the size of the screen, which is fine. That's okay. Okay, no, that's no problem. I think so. That counter looks good here. So we're gonna have the player name, of course. That we're gonna have health and mana and all those. And I think what I'm gonna do here is that I'm pretty happy with how this is set up. Now the next thing I would like to do here is go back to the attribute display, and I'm gonna duplicate this, and I'm gonna call this WBP player cards counter, right? Now the player cards counter is that how many cards do you have? And this, guys, I want you to pay attention to, we're not gonna focus too much on, I'm just gonna replace with that. Let me just replace here with the child. There we go. So this is gonna be, it's gonna say something like 10, or in this case, like 4 of 30 cards. I'm not sure how much is gonna be the max card. Let's just add desire. And what I was gonna say here is that I would like you guys to focus more now on the logic behind. We're gonna focus on the programming and leave a little bit of the UI to another part. Of course, I still want to make sure the UI is sharp and looks cool, But for now, I am just scoping out how I would like this to work, you know. So for example, here we got that, so we can maybe add 1. And how much was the difference here? So it's like 20. So maybe we can add a 20 as well, or maybe 0 or 20. So we can compile and save this. And there we go. So we have here Mario GGT. We have my health, blah, blah, blah. How many cards I have. Normally those cards, you could even put it on left. Maybe I think that would be actually a good idea. Maybe we put that on left. 0, 1, 1. Yeah, let's see. How does it look? There you go. Doesn't look too bad. It looks good. Now, when you add a new card, of course, this button is going to go. We have everything set up properly. Now, what I'm going to do here for the next one, the next episode, is that actually start to scope out. Oh, by the way, notice this. On our legacy card, I don't know what happened here. Why did that happen? I'm not entirely sure what happened there. But like this looks good. So if I go and set this to attack, defense, magic. Ah, I see what happened. Ah, I see. Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. What happened is that we override the T mana. That's a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. But we basically need to bring 3 mana shield or something. I don't know. Shield. Now we have to use it here. All right. Now, if you are probably doing this on the PC, probably didn't have this issue. But I just came up with that. All right. Now, the next one, we're going to do the counters. So what we're going to be doing here in the next video is that we're going to create a component that will be attached to our player controller. So later on, when you throw this, what you're going to do when you use the card, we're going to tell our controller, say, hey, I'm using this card. Please tell the game instance and please replicate this to the other game instances. So that's what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to create our player component and will be attached to this. And also the player controller, sorry, not the player controller will be the bridge. So the server will define when you should get a new card, will tell the player controller, which will tell the widget. And then the widget will use the card, which will tell the player controller, which will tell the game instance. Basically, we have to do this whole process here, and I'm going to explain a little bit more here. So imagine that this block here is what we call the server, right? And all those here's, they are the player. You can only have 2 players since it's a TCG game. So you have only the player. Now, a player, unfortunately, can't tell the other player what's happening. Otherwise, they can, let's say, inject malicious code, whatever, or try to cheat, especially if it's an online game. That would you're going to try to build an online game, right? So what you have to do is that every player has their own controller. And I'm going to highlight this by blue color, right? So what happens is that this player tells the controller what is the action. Then the action validates on the server. And then the server returns to all the clients, all the information that it needs to be done. So this here in green, it's going to be the client, which is the widget you guys are seeing. And basically what happened here is that the controller is going to tell the widget, which then the player will be able to see what's going on. All right. So we have to do this puzzle like jiggle here because we have to we need to be safe. We need to tell the player what's going on. So this is what we're going to be doing in the next video. But in the next video, I'm going to focus on this part here, which is this is not a very good color to highlight things, which is going to be the player controller. So once again, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know if this series start to get, if you don't like those explanations or taking too long on them. It's just that I am always parting on the principle that you don't know anything about the game development. And then I just want to explain what we're trying to do instead of showing just this magic box working. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and I see you in the next one.